Welcome back to our channel. We're diving into one of the most intriguing coins in U.S. history, the 1968 D. Lincoln penny. A lot of people don't realize that this small copper coin could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent, and if you're lucky, it could be worth millions. Stick around as we break down the history, value, and how some 1968 D pennies are currently fetching incredible prices. Let's get started. Text on screen, 1968 D. Lincoln penny. Worth a lot more than you think. First, let's talk about the history of the 1968 D. Lincoln penny. The 1968 penny is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series that began in 1909, designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner. The 1968 penny was part of a major shift in coin production that would change the entire composition of U.S. coins. In 1965, the U.S. Treasury decided to switch the composition of pennies from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc to a 97.5% zinc core with a thin copper plating on the outside. This decision was made due to the rising cost of copper, and as a result, the 1968 penny was the first to be struck with this new formula. Now, the 1968 D penny, with the D mint mark for the Denver Mint, is unique not just because of its composition, but because it was produced during a pivotal time in U.S. coinage. The mint had already started transitioning to these new penny formulas, and this is where things get interesting. While the general population might think of the 1968 penny as just another coin in their change, some of these pennies, particularly in specific conditions, have been known to fetch incredible prices. Now, the million-dollar question. How much is the 1968 D. Lincoln penny worth today? Most 1968 D pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, but some have been known to command big money. So, why the discrepancy? The key to understanding the value of the 1968 D penny lies in its condition. Coins that are well preserved, uncirculated, or in proof-like conditions are far more valuable than the average coin you'd find in your pocket change. An uncirculated 1968 D penny in great condition can be worth anywhere between 10 cents to $1 or $2, depending on the specific details. However, when you get into higher-grade coins, the price can increase dramatically. But there's one specific variant that collectors go absolutely crazy for. Introducing the double die error. This is a rare phenomenon in which the coin was struck multiple times during the minting process, creating a doubled image on the coin's design. The 1968 D penny that exhibits a double die error is considered highly collectible, and these coins have been known to sell for anywhere between $500 to $9,000 depending on the grade and how well the error is preserved. In fact, some 1968 D pennies with significant double die errors have fetched as much as $9 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $9 million. For a coin that most people would overlook in their pocket change. So, what exactly makes these pennies so valuable? Is it just the double die error? Well, yes, that's a major part of it. But there are also other factors at play. First, the 1968 D penny is part of the transition to the new zinc-copper composition, which makes it a piece of history for collectors. The rarity of certain minting errors, like the double die, only increases the value of these coins. Other types of minting errors in the 1968 D pennies, like off-center strikes, die cracks, or misprints, can also increase a penny's value. But the most coveted ones are the ones with those elusive double die errors. Now, let's talk about how you can find a valuable 1968 D penny. First, it's important to know where to look. Many collectors start by going through rolls of pennies from the bank or searching through jars of old coins. To identify a 1968 D penny with a double die error, take a close look at the lettering and the design. On the obverse, front of the coin, look for any doubling or blurry, shadowed images on Lincoln's portrait or the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions. A good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe is your best friend in this process. Next, flip the coin over and examine the reverse side, especially the word E pluribus unum and the Lincoln Memorial. Double die errors can be subtle, so pay close attention to the small details. Not every 1968 D penny is going to be worth thousands or millions, but if you find one with an error, you might be holding a hidden treasure. Let's talk about the market for 1968 D pennies today. If you find one of these rare errors in great condition, You can potentially sell it for a significant amount at a coin auction or through online marketplaces like eBay or heritage auctions. Make sure to get your coins graded by a professional service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. A certified grade can significantly increase the value of your coin when it comes time to sell. So, there you have it. The 1968 D. Lincoln penny may look like just another coin, but it has the potential to be worth big money. Up to $9 million if you're lucky enough to find that elusive double-die error. Be sure to keep an eye out for this coin in your collection or when searching through your change. And who knows, you might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and insights. Until next time, happy hunting and keep searching for those valuable coins. We're diving into one of the most interesting and potentially valuable coins from the 20th century, the 1973 Lincoln penny. At first glance, this penny may seem like just another copper coin, but believe me, there's much more to this penny than meets the eye. In fact, this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth a lot more than you think, potentially even up to $10 million in some rare cases. Let's find out why. The Lincoln cent, also known as the penny, has a rich history that dates all the way back to 1909, when it was first introduced to the public. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner and features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse originally showcased 2 ears of wheat, hence the term wheat penny. Fast forward to 1973, a year in the midst of significant changes for the U.S. economy. By this time, the design of the Lincoln penny had already undergone several changes. In 1959, the wheat ears were replaced with a stylized depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, and this design would remain until the 2009 bicentennial celebrations. 1973 was a relatively quiet year in U.S. coinage, but it would still prove to be an important one. The 1973 Lincoln penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and it was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. The total mintage for 1973 was over 4.2 billion coins, so in terms of sheer numbers, it seems like it would be just another run-of-the-mill penny. But, of course, we know that not all pennies are created equal. While there were billions of these pennies minted, the value of your 1973 penny will depend heavily on its condition, its mint mark, and the rarity of certain varieties. The factors that affect the value of a 1973 Lincoln penny. So, what makes a 1973 Lincoln penny potentially valuable? There are several factors to consider when determining its worth. Let's take a closer look. The condition of the coin, or its grade, is one of the most important factors. Coins that are in near-perfect condition, such as those with minimal wear and crisp details, are going to be worth more than heavily circulated coins. Coin graders use a scale from 1 to 70 to assess a coin's quality. A 1973 penny in mint state, such as a grade of MS 65 or higher, can fetch far more than a heavily worn example. The mint mark is another important consideration. Most 1973 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, which doesn't have a mint mark. However, there were also coins struck at the Denver Mint, which have a D mint mark. While there isn't a huge difference in value between the two, the Denver Mint coins are slightly less common in certain high-grade conditions, which could influence their price. Here's where things get interesting. While the 1973 penny is commonly found in circulation, some rare varieties and errors could skyrocket its value. In particular, a 1973 penny with a notable error, such as a double die, a misstrike, or a minting flaw, could be worth thousands or even millions to the right collector. One of the most coveted varieties in the world of coin collecting is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin is struck twice, causing a doubling effect on the design elements. If you find a 1973 penny with such an error, especially if it's in mint condition, you could be looking at a rare find worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. So, can a 1973 Lincoln penny really be worth $10 million? Well, it's a rare possibility, but the potential is there, especially if the coin in question has a significant error, like a rare double die or a major misstruck coin, and if that coin is in exceptional condition. Collectors and investors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for pieces with unique qualities. Take, For example, the world of rare coin auctions. Coins like the 1943 copper penny, of which only a few were ever minted, have sold for millions. While the 1973 penny hasn't quite reached such astronomical values, there have been instances of error coins from this era selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. If you happen to stumble upon a 1973 Lincoln penny with an extremely rare error or in impeccable condition, don't be surprised if a dealer offers you more than you ever expected. Some of these error coins could fetch anywhere from $10,000 to over $100,000, depending on the rarity and the quality of the coin. Chapter 5. How to find and evaluate a valuable 1973 Lincoln penny. So, how can you find a 1973 Lincoln penny that's worth big money? Here are a few tips that could help you uncover a hidden treasure. Don't just throw away those pennies you find in your change jar. Take the time to carefully examine each coin. Look for signs of unusual doubling, off-center strikes, or other minting errors that could add substantial value. Once you find a potential valuable 1973 penny, it's always a good idea to have it graded by a professional grading service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. They'll assign a grade to the coin, which will help you determine its market value. If you think you've found something truly special, consult with a coin dealer or numismatist who can offer more insight into your coin's potential value. Auction houses also provide a great way to sell rare and valuable coins to interested buyers. So, while the 1973 Lincoln penny may not be the rarest or the most valuable coin in history, it definitely holds a special place in the world of numismatics. Whether you're looking for an error coin, a coin in perfect condition, or just want to add to your collection, the 1973 penny offers plenty of opportunities to discover hidden treasures. And who knows, you may just find that one rare example that could change your life and put $10 million in your pocket. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories and tips. Keep on collecting, and you might just find your next big treasure. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting, focusing on the 1981 Lincoln penny. You might think of it as just another penny, but trust me, this coin has a lot more to it than meets the eye. We'll explore its history, value, and even why some of these pennies are worth a staggering $11 million today. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's uncover the incredible story behind the 1981 Lincoln penny. First things first, let's talk about the history of the 1981 Lincoln penny. This coin was minted at the height of the Reagan administration, and it marks a crucial moment in U.S. history. The Lincoln penny, introduced back in 1909, has gone through numerous design changes over the years, but by 1981, it was still carrying the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the simple wheat ears on the reverse, though that would change soon. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies to meet the needs of everyday transactions. These coins were primarily made from copper, with a mix of zinc. They were minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities. Despite being mass-produced, this coin has become a favorite of collectors, especially because of a few key variations. Now, what makes the 1981 Lincoln penny so special? Well, as with many coins, the 1981 penny comes in several variations, and some of these are highly sought after by collectors. One of the first things collectors look for is any potential errors or differences in minting. For instance, there are reports of some 1981 pennies being struck with double die errors. A double die occurs when the design is struck onto the coin multiple times, creating a noticeable duplication or doubling of the details, such as the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust. These coins are worth much more than their face value. Another variation to keep an eye out for is the difference between the Type 1 and Type 2 varieties. The Type 1 penny has a more distinct, raised profile of Lincoln, while the Type 2 penny features a flatter design. These types were minted in different years and conditions, and some collectors pay a premium for them. But the true gem of the 1981 Lincoln penny is the rarest error coin, a bronze penny. This one is extremely rare, and it's the one that has some collectors paying millions. Alright, here's where it gets crazy. As of today, one specific 1981 Lincoln penny has made headlines, an example that could potentially be worth up to $11 million. But why is it worth so much? In 1981, the U.S. Mint was transitioning from copper to zinc for pennies. During this transition, a small number of pennies were mistakenly struck using the wrong materials. Some of these pennies were made of pure copper, which was supposed to be phased out by 1982. A few of these coins, if they are in perfect condition, could fetch a mind-blowing sum on the market. Imagine holding a penny that's worth more than most people's houses. The 1981 copper penny is considered one of the rarest coin errors in U.S. history, and its value continues to rise as time goes on. Collectors around the world are eager to find these pennies, as they're practically impossible to come by. In fact, experts believe only a handful of these pure copper pennies still exist. Some say that only a couple are in mint condition. One of the most famous examples of this rare coin is currently in the hands of a private collector, and it's valued at around $11 million. So, how can you tell if your 1981 penny is worth a fortune? Well, you'll need to carefully examine your coin for specific characteristics. Start by looking at the material. A 1981 copper penny will be much heavier than its modern zinc counterparts. If you're not sure about the composition, you can perform a simple test. Weigh the coin. A normal penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the copper penny will weigh about 3.1 grams. Next, inspect the details of the design. Look for any signs of errors like a double die or misaligned strikes. Any imperfections in the design could make the coin much more valuable. If you spot something unusual, it's a good idea to have it graded by a professional coin grading service to determine its authenticity and value. Remember, condition is everything. Coins in perfect condition, with minimal wear, will command the highest prices on the market. You'll want to keep your pennies in a safe place, away from dirt or wear and tear. Now, let's talk about the coin market today and how the 1981 Lincoln penny fits into it. The coin market is booming, and rare pennies are often featured at high-profile auctions. While most 1981 Lincoln pennies are still worth only a few cents, the ones with rare errors or unique characteristics are attracting serious bids from collectors. As we mentioned earlier, the $11 million penny is a rare example, but it goes to show how valuable these seemingly common coins can become. Coins like this don't just stay locked away forever. They are often sold at public auctions, where they can fetch millions of dollars. If you're in the market for rare coins, there are plenty of opportunities to buy and sell, but it's important to know what you're looking for. So, whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, make sure to keep an eye on your change, especially if you're holding on to a 1981 Lincoln penny. You never know, you might have a gold mine right in your pocket. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the history and value of the 1981 Lincoln penny. Who knew that a humble penny could be worth so much, right? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories and tips on how to find valuable treasures in your own collection. Have you found any rare coins in your change? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more fascinating facts about the world of numismatics. Until then, happy hunting!